morning, children. Till now we have discussed about the respiration and types of respiration. In that, the second one is the anaerobic respiration. What is anaerobic respiration? If the respiration takes place in the absence of oxygen, then we call it as anaerobic respiration. Example for that one is yeast. Till now you have discussed about this. Let us perform an activity to know more about this. The good example for yeast, which grows in the idli, dosha batter, you have already learned in the previous classes. How the dough will increase its quantity, means it will increase in the size because of release of some chemicals from the yeast, that is carbon dioxide. Means the gas is released. The gas, because of the gas, it increases the quantity. You can see it will bulge up and you can get that sponginess to the food item. Even the bread also the same. If you observe the batter, you can see a different smell from the batter. Along with the liberation of carbon dioxide, you can see some amount of smell. That smell is due to the chemical reaction takes place between the glucose and the yeast. Where the glucose is present, then there is nothing but the food item, that is the rice. Whatever the we are fermenting, that is rice, that contains glucose. That glucose is utilized by the yeast and it liberates carbon dioxide and also ethanol. That's why we will get some different smell. Even this process is used for the preparation of wines. So, for that we are going to perform an activity. Take a thermoflask and one delivery tube, thermometer, liquid paraffin and lime water, that is nothing but bicarbonate solution, and also indicator, Janus B solution. First, take some glucose solution, heat it a little bit. Here why we are heating that solution means to remove the oxygen present in the solution. Why? Because we are doing the experiment, we are performing this experiment to prove that the yeast will grow in the absence of oxygen. So, if the oxygen is present, we cannot say it is anaerobic. That's why we have to eat some amount of glucose. Due to that, the oxygen which is present in there will be evaporated. And cool that solution and add yeast to the glucose solution. Then pour the solution into the thermoflask. Then pour the liquid paraffin. You can see this is the layer. Here the dark layer is the liquid paraffin. This is the glucose solution. Plus yeast. Means we have added the yeast. So we are fermenting it. Why we are pouring here liquid paraffin means not to enter the oxygen inside. You know how the wax will, it will prevent the passage of that oxygen or the carbon dioxide out. So this liquid paraffin is poured over that. It must be 1 or 2 centimeters length width. Before pouring liquid paraffin, we have to add Janus green B solution, or we can say as Janus green solution. This is the indicator. If the oxygen is present in the solution, then the solution turns to pink color. That's the indicator if any amount of oxygen is present. So we have to prevent that oxygen. We have to remove the total amount of oxygen. We have already removed the oxygen. That's why we can get a clear idea. Next, one other here, the connecting tube from the glucose solution is connected to the test tube. This another test tube which contains lime water. Why we are connecting this connecting tube to lime water means during the process of fermentation, the yeast, it liberates carbon dioxide gas. How can you prove that it is a carbon dioxide gas? That's why we will connect this to bicarbonate solution. We have already learned in the previous lesson that lime water combines with carbon dioxide, then it turns to milky white. It turns to milky white. So that's why we are connecting this connecting tube from the glucose solution to bicarbonate solution. And here, why we are in the inoculator one thermometer? We are during the process for every organism during the process of respiration, some amount of heat is liberated. That's why we kept thermometer into the solution. Due to this, the temperature rise can be checked. So this is the process. Already have an idea about how the carbonate solution will react with the carbon dioxide and precipitates to form milky white solution. By this we can prove that yeast present in the glucose solution will absorb the nutrients which are present, that is the glucose, and respirate along with the liberation of carbon dioxide which is passed to the bicarbonate solution, and also some amount of heat is also liberated that can be checked by the thermometer. Okay. Next, respiration and combustion. See, for the process of combustion, you know combustion is nothing but burning. The combustion, it also liberates carbon dioxide, water and energy. During the combustion of any substance, you will get the amount of energy. It releases amount of energy, some amount of carbon dioxide and water is also liberated. Here in the same way, the respiration also, some amount of energy, carbon dioxide and water is liberated. So that's why we can say that respiration versus combustion. In the respiration process, the oxygen will not only combine with the carbon but also combines with the hydrogen. For that, we are going to perform an activity for the combustion. Same, you need for this activity, you need burner, stand, test tubes, 2 test tubes. Same again, lime water, 1 delivery tube. Heat the glucose in the test tube 1 as shown in the figure, and some amount of energy is released, and also gas which is liberated through this is again sent to the test tube. Again, that because of the liberation of carbon dioxide, this lime water will turn to milky white. You can see the some amount of water vapor inside the test tube. Okay, same as this. By this we can say that the combustion and respiration both are same processes. Next topic is the heat production by living organisms. Children, you can observe in the winter when it is very cool, you will feel shivering, and automatically your body, what it will do? It produces more amount of heat. It is producing during the shivering. Our body releases heat. Means it generates heat in our body to keep our body warm. You know that our body temperature is more when compared to the outside temperature. In the same way, when you wear sweaters, you will feel warmer when compared to when we are not wearing the sweaters. Why? Because the wool, it prevents the wool, which is the sweaters are made with the wool. It prevents our body not to escape the heat produced by our body to the outer environment. Then the sweater acts as a wall between outer environment and our body temperature. So our body will produce the heat, but it is not combining with the outer environment. Then you will feel warmer. So by this we can say that our body is generating heat. Along with the heat, the energy is also released during the process of respiration. This released energy is stored in the form of ATP in the mitochondria, already we have discussed, and some amount of energy is used for our daily metabolic activities. If you see, when you do serious exercises or running, jogging, our body requires more oxygen to produce more energy. This energy means this oxygen, when the availability of oxygen is not enough for our body, then our body respires anaerobically and produces lactic acid in our body. Due to the production of lactic acid, our muscles get pain. You can feel that. And when you stop that work, you can feel that how our muscles are getting that pain. Have you ever observed? So this is nothing but we are not getting the oxygen in the required quantity. So our body is respiring anaerobically for few minutes, which leads to muscle cramps. And after stopping that, you will take more amount of breath, because our cells require, means that generated, again it want to replace that lactic acid with the normal respiration. Means again our body should come to normal position. We will breathe more. This is about the anaerobic respiration. In the next class, we are going to discuss about the evolution of microorganisms to higher organisms. Children, write your notes. Thank you. See you in the next class.